Alright, Pokemon players, we are back with round number 3. We have Zach versus Kieran. Looks like Zach mulliganed a couple times here, so he's looking to try to still get a basic.
Yep, and it looks like our matchup, it looks like we have Kieran playing a metal deck, and it looks like Zach is playing Trevenant.
He's playing Trevenant.
Yep.
Yes.
And
so this is going to be a very interesting matchup. I actually haven't had any experience with this. So what's the favor of this matchup here?
I think that a lot of it comes down to whether or not if Kieran can get out his one of Bronzong from Fate's Claw matchup's actually pretty tough for Zach because that turns off Silent Fear, and that's the main way the deck wants to do damage. So
it'll stop him from doing the spread 30 damage to all of his bench. Okay, so that actually is Kieran. If he does get the Bronzong, he is gonna have a really good time with that. So. And unfortunately, Zach started with that Shaman, so
it's gonna be tough to get that turn 1 Wally into Trevenant. Again, if Zach can get a turn 1 Trevenant, then things can go downhill very quickly for Kieran if he doesn't have a supporter. And he is going to be also on for Shane. He's got the Floatstone Array, so he's got to set up for 6 and at the very least a decent chance to get that turn 1 Trevenant.
And that's really good for him. That is if you're playing Trevenant or you're building Trevenant, that's what you're building it for.
Yep,
that's what you need. Yeah, 100%. So we're gonna see here. He will go ahead and play the Floatstone and go ahead and set up for that 6. And I'm not sure. Like I said, Kieran got 2 free mulligan cards.
Yeah, he got 2 free mulligans. So, I saw an Aegis Slash and I believe another EX in his hand, but he wasn't necessarily showing it. But the other thing is, like, if he doesn't, even if he gets locked, he can still do things. And we see that Zach does have that turn 1 Trevenant with the Wally in hand.
Oh, that's so good for him.
And he's even got Mystery Energy to boot, so this is good. He's off
Zach
to the races.
This is what he wants.
Yes.
When he starts his turn, this is 100% what he wants to see, and this is what any Trevenant player wants to see. They want to put their opponent into a tough position. So, yeah. And Kieran he at least has a Sycamore. He's gonna have Pokemon to play on the bench, so.
And he's got an Aegis Slash and Energy, so
he still has.
He has obliterated
options.
by
it. He still has a lot of stuff going for him, so we'll see. Zach's gonna go ahead and retreat there. He does have an Ultra Ball as well, doesn't he? Or no, it was a Team Flare Grunt as well.
Flare Grunt as well.
Yeah, it looked like the red Ultra Ball. So we go ahead and see that Zach's gonna pass his turn, and Kieran's
just gonna be attach a metal to Aegis Slash and then Sycamore probably. Now, the good news for Kieran is, while he's not gonna be able to play turns, his deck is kind of resistant to Silent Fear. The reason for that being, all these things have a high HP, and he doesn't need Bronzongs to function. Because he plays enough basic metals that he's still able to charge up his attackers, and they don't go down quickly.
Right, because they're high hit points.
But he is going to go bench all the Bronzors. I don't actually think I agree with him benching all 3 of them, because that means they'll all die on the same turn to Silent Fear. And sometimes you want to stagger those out so they're not all getting obliterated at once. Right.
That's true. So he actually ended up passing that turn to Zach, and Zach is still just going.
Yeah, he's got everything he wants. He can hit a break here and an energy or a D-Valley. He is set. That's what he wants to do. And especially because okay, so the reason Kieran actually benched all those Bronzors is you actually see he hit his one of Fate's Collide Bronzong right off the bat. That's the last card in his hand. So he's gonna be able to do that, and then
what does the Fate's Collide Bronzong do for him?
If he gets a red card, it prevents your bench guys from getting affected by your opponent's attacks.
Okay. So that's what stops that Silent Fear spread. So that's 100% why he didn't Sycamore.
Well, that's why he benched all the Bronzors.
Well, and he didn't Sycamore away his hand.
No, he's only had 1 turn. So he Sycamore turn 1, but he drew the Bronzong immediately.
Okay, I had missed him. I had missed him actually Sycamoring. Yeah. So
and he just got red carded as well. So he just got it shuffled away, and he's still item locked.
So that's not good for him at all. That's not good.
It's gonna be tough to hit that 2 times in a row.
Yeah. Especially not being able to play the item cards. He's not gonna be able to get it out with
Ultra Ball.
His Ultra Ball searches.
So he's only got 1 actual out to.
So there was an N.
I see a supporter there.
There was an N. That was it. The rest of it was
items. Yep. So
yeah,
and
I think it was 2 VS Seekers and a Trainer's Mail.
Zach has not played a Trevenant break yet. He doesn't actually break. Oh, he is not breaking. That's huge because that means these Bronzors on the bench have an extra turn to evolve.
That's good.
And that's critical for try to stay in this game. Yeah, and here. Now, if he can hit any Bronzong, that's good because he's already got 2 metals in the discard from that turn 1 Sycamore.
Right, and he'll be able to start attacking right off the bat.
Exactly.
And since Zach didn't break, his hit points are still kind of low, so...
Yeah, that Aegis Slash is not dying anytime soon.
Yeah.
That's the thing is against Trevenant is you can sometimes sweep them with like 1 or 2 attackers, especially if they can hit more than 100 damage. And both of us are able to do that.
He didn't have enough energy to attack. Zach didn't have enough energy to actually tree slam, so...
He did not play the Dimension Valley.
He didn't have a Dimension Valley, so the damage will get fixed. It'll just be adjusted that the damage didn't get dealt.
Yeah, the damage did not happen.
Which is just unfortunate for Zach. I mean, it's not like he would have done anything different. You would have attacked or you wouldn't have attacked. So
right, you still gonna leave the Trevenant in the active.
Right.
Like or just nullifies the damage.
And Zach sees here. He seems a little frustrated about what he did, and all it is the damage gets removed. Right. I don't know.
Well, it is really frustrating because he's not like you get this turn 1 Trevenant and he's not able to apply any actual pressure.
Right.
Because Kieran's also hit supporters on both of his turns. Like so. If you're a Trevenant player, these are things where you're like, okay, this should be a free win. I went first. I got my Trevenant out turn 1. But Lane just hits back-to-back supports. He hit 1 off a red card. So this is one of those where it's like, this should just be a win already. Like, I should not have to play this game. Like, I should have won already, but just not. Doesn't look like it's falling that way.
But we see that he did, at least, there wasn't penalty issued. All this it was is the damage wasn't dealt. They wasn't able to attack, and they just continue on. So Zach at least didn't get punished for doing something quote-unquote incorrect. So it's at least not the worst situation for him. To not get to do damage and penalize would have really been bad for Zach.
Right, and he's still in a good spot because his opponent still doesn't have any bronze arms on the table after all this shuffle draw. So, he's slowly charging up this Aegis Slash, but he's not going to be able to one-shot that break for a pretty long time.
Right.
So it's not like he's really actually in a bad spot. Like, if you're a Trevenant player, you're still, like, fine with this. This is where you want the game to be. Your opponent's still not actually really doing anything. They're charging up 1 attacker, and they don't have any bronze arms out. So I'd still say Zach is very fine with where he's
especially
at.
Especially because he's going to Silent Fear this turn. Yep. He's going to start putting the damage
down. And he's
down.
about to get another Trevenant out.
Right. So this is really good for him.
It's going to Silent Fear. Just start doing what Trevenant does, and she's going to try to take... Ideally, he'll be taking 3 prizes, actually. By taking out all those bronze
all 3 of the bronzers, right? If not, he's going to at least probably get 1.
Yeah.
For sure, guaranteed 1. I doubt Kieran. Yeah, I doubt Kieran's going to be able to ball out 3. But if he does, that's really good for him.
That would be insane.
But it's still in 2 more turns. They're all knocked out anyways.
Because he didn't stagger him because he hit the Fate Squad bronze on that initial end, and he got red carded out of the play.
He doesn't actually even have a supporter either.
He's got a Shaman. I think he's able to wants to, which he will. He draws 2 more items, and yeah, this game is about to get pretty hairy.
Pretty rough for him. Kieran is definitely gonna.
And so the thing with that is Zach is playing the hammer version, so he's actually playing a heavy disruption version, and not necessarily one that's geared towards only getting a turn 1 volley. It looks like. Yeah, so he's got how many cards? He's got 3 crushing hammers and 2 red cards. So he's got a little more disruption.
He's got a lot of disruption there. Yep. He also plays the delinquent, which he just showed us. He went ahead and discarded that. So we see that he's going to have a lot of stuff.
And no bursting balloons. That's what he cut to me.
Right.
He's on a more disruptive build of Trevenant, which I think is probably
better. Well, in general, considering that you could just shaman around bursting balloons, that's the strategy for that, right?
Especially for metal,
right?
And you can just bronze on.
Right.
Like you actually get your good start. And now he's flare grunting, and the Aegis Slash isn't able to apply any pressure like he's hoping. And,
right.
Wow! He just removed all.
Yeah, Kieran is not in a good spot at all.
I would, if he needs to top deck a Lysander.
He just top decked another item card.
And his only out right now is really Lysander. He needs a Lysander, and then he needs to
get to play
something.
all of those cards.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's down 3 bronzors, and this game is, for all intents and purposes, this is what you want as a Trevenant player. Right. You didn't play Pokemon. You got your turn 1 Trevenant, and you didn't really have to play Pokemon. You just stopped feared. What's it got up being 6 times to win? So that's your game plan. Yeah. So, he had a 1-turn window, and unfortunately, he didn't get there.
Right.
So he'll be going first in presumptively
game 2, right? So he'll at least get the option to play some of his items to at least clear out them, so that he's not stuck with them as well. Because like right now, he's stuck with a bunch of items. Yeah, and
And the other thing that is,
he did draw that Lysander though, so
but
it's too late. Unfortunately,
like,
one turn too
you
late.
can like Lysander. I mean, you're going Lysander.
He's gonna go for it. I mean,
but I don't even think it's correct because it's not like Zach just blew through all of his energy. Like you're just waiting for the inevitable. Like
inevitably
you don't
that
have any
Aegislash is gonna get
left.
knocked out.
You can't even so he can maybe Ultra Ball, hit double max elixir to maybe get an attack through. Like that's what we're looking at. And things like you can't even afford to KO the Shaman because if you KO the Shaman,
he's just gonna bring out the Trevenant.
For all intents and purposes, he might just be playing this game out to see if he can get a better grasp of what's in Zach's
list. Right.
Now, something of note as I'm looking over the deck list that some of these metal decks actually play a Zoroark line, like a thin Zoroark line for the Russian and the Mind Jack, and Kieran is not playing that. So that's something that can actually tilt this matchup in Metal's favor if they get off to a start like this, because you're able to just, attach a DC to it if you play DC, or like a metal and a metal, and he is not actually doing that. So that's something that is notable for game 2, so he doesn't really have any...
Well, Zach's not going to know... Right. Because he's not
gonna know, but that's
he's not gonna have any idea.
No.
Yeah. So.
Somewhat noble for maybe game 2, but he's getting the Genesect, so he's clearly gonna try to like double max elixir here. He hasn't played a supporter yet, so in theory he could double max elixir, and then attach return and AZ the Aegislash.
Yep, and if he doesn't, it's not. He's got 2 more turns until that Aegislash is gone.
No, the Aegislash is gone next turn. He's at 150.
Oh, yep, you're right. He is. So he has to get
the second Axe Elixir, so he is making this slightly more interesting than maybe we're getting credit for. So I know I saw a male in his hand left, and I know I saw some more supporters in there. There's a male, a ban, and a VS Seeker.
No, he's got the Super Rod.
Actually, no, he needs to find Fury Belt. That's what he needs to find in that guy, because he already Lysander. So he needs to find a Fury Belt. But he's really needs some.
Not sure what cards he has left. Went through a lot of those items that he was stuck with for a while. So once he gets through all of those,
not much.
We're gonna
so
see.
He's gonna Super Rod.
Is he gonna try to play a?
He's
gonna just get it back in his hand.
He's gonna get it for next turn, assuming he has the next turn. You just leave the Aegislash.
He's gonna go ahead. And Zach does have the energy.
No, he doesn't. That's a mystery.
Oh, he can't attach it to.
He cannot attach that yet. So he doesn't actually have game yet.
Looking through his discard pile to see.
He's got no energy. Oh, he's got
a lot of energy to draw into.
He's gonna sick him. He's just gonna sick him.
Yeah.
And like.
If he gets the energy, then he wins. If not,
he'd probably win.
He still wins it soon.
Yeah,
there it is.
Psychic,
he's got the energy.
We're gonna go to game 2.
We're gonna go ahead and Zach takes game 1. It was in his favor the whole time. Kieran really had a hard time that whole time.
Zach got the turn 1 Trevenant, and like the only misstep was not attacking turn 2, and
it wasn't like Zach couldn't have done anything different.
Exactly. Well, Kieran didn't take advantage of that. Like if he if you whiff the turn 2 attack, like maybe he's able to hit like Bronze Onks quicker, or do something to at least take advantage of, but he didn't draw anything that to take advantage of it.
He just didn't have the cards to continue play from that.
Nope.
So
we'll go to game 2. Hopefully, Kieran can at least make this game interesting.
Going first, he's going to have a lot better.
Have at least 1 turn to play items, and with that, he might be able to set up something where like he gets Bronzors on the board and it has Bronzongs in his hand, which is what he wants, because that one face card Bronzong is a huge game changer for this matchup.
It's the card for this matchup in his favor for that. So. All right, we'll be right back for the second game of this round 3. Alright, we're back with the second game of round number 3.
And we see Zach with the Phantom Star, which is exactly what he wants. So now he just needs an energy to get his Trevenant going on his first turn. But here we'll have one turn of items. And we see a Genesect, we see a Sycamore, Lysander, Max Elixir. It's the Max Elixir. We are off versus. He's going to try to get Genesect charged up ASAP because they hit 110 very easily.
Right. And that's exactly what he wants to do. He needs to attack quicker, then Zach can get out Trevenants.
Exactly. And the thing is with the Max Elixirs in his build, if he's able to just, like, honestly if he's able to just get 2 mills and a free belt on one of these, it's a huge problem for Zach immediately. Because he's immediately doing 110, not having to discard any energy. And you are playing a Mel deck, so you can actually get the energy back if you know, get your Bronze Arms out.
Right.
He's going to get at least the second medal. One of them is Ultra Ball. 2 VS Seekers, which normally is not great against Trevenant, but he discarded 3 supporters already, and
right.
2 of them are, and all 3 of them are actually very good against Zach's deck. There's a Hex in there, and a Lysander.
So those are perfect for him to be able to get back to hold in his hand. So unless Zach has the answer to red card those away, Kieran's in a really good position.
And even still, even if he red cards them, at least the VS Seekers in his deck are just actual supporters.
Right, and the VS Seekers are in the discard pile, so he won't redraw them. Right. So that's a lot of really good stuff for Kieran here.
Yeah, he's off to a much better start than the last game. And that's just by going first, like most games. Against Trump, picking his prizes. Okay, the AZ's. The main thing we're trying to see is, does he have his Fates Collide Bronze deck? And it looks, I don't think it is in the deck, although because there's one card I couldn't tell what it is.
Well, the first Bronze Song you see is not it,
right.
And then
there's a card that he keeps. I think
towards the end of the deck it clumps so much. I'm not really able to tell.
I don't think it is in deck. I feel like he would have looked at it more and just okay, just double check.
This is in there, right?
Yeah, I don't.
But he might have seen it right away and then just accepted. Okay, I know it's in there, so onward.
And we get some more items we can play.
This is great for him.
Great start one.
Right.
Hits a Max Elixir, and that's huge. Because if he can get 2, because actually it's like he might even be able to 3 Mal RNGs on this first Genesect.
On his first turn, that's so good for him.
That's very scary for Zach because Trevenant's going to have a hard time dealing with that.
Right.
Now he hits the second Max Elixir, so we now have 2 on that bench Genesect. And we still actually have some more.
He still has one in his hands, too. Yeah, he's lots of stuff to play. This is exactly what he wants to be able to see.
Yeah, if you're Zach right now, you are definitely trying to find your Crushing Hammers and Flare Grunt like ASAP.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't know if Zach has even shown us his hand this game so far, so we're not even still sure what Zach has. Zach could have an awful hand as well.
Well, I see at least a Sycamore and a Shaman.
Okay, so it's
and
not,
a wall.
Oh, okay, he does have. He actually is.
He's gonna be able to do stuff, but like, it's gonna be tough for him to just deal with, that.
Yeah.
And
but he did
that's
start
a good
heads.
start. That's a good way to
Right,
start.
that's exactly what you want to see. So that's the thing is that, if you do get those heads on Crushing Hammers, it's really game changer for a lot of matches. It's the difference between a win or a loss.
Right, and just because, simply put, once you don't have items, it's just hard to set up your ways to actually get your energy back on board because, he plays 11 metal, but he's already gone through 1 or 2 in discard. There's, 1 on the board. So you're already down to just 8 outs to draw them, and if you don't draw the Bronze Arms, you're not getting those back.
Right.
And the other issue that we haven't touched on yet is that his active Genesect has nothing on, no Floatstone, no Malorgy, so
it's stuck up there.
Yeah, he's stuck for at least a turn, and if he doesn't hit Bronze Arms immediately, Zach's gonna be able to start Silent Fearing
and discarding the energy, and there's no more energy acceleration for Kieran because he can't use the Max Elixirs. He already used 2.
Yeah, he used 2.
So
I don't see how he does play 4 Max Elixirs.
So let's see.
But he got good value out of that card.
Right, that's true. Because he could have gotten none of them and used none of them and had no energy on the board. So that's never a position he wants to be in. See, Zach's gonna go ahead and Wally's right into that Trevenant.
Because he doesn't have the energy.
Yeah.
Zach's start is okay. He's going to be shamaning here in a second, I believe.
What?
He had a shaman in his hand and a Zerosic, and Cameron what the last card was.
He had a Trevenant in his hand.
Yeah, Trevenant. It's Shaman, Zerosic, and Trevenant. Probably gonna might not even want the Shaman here just so that if he knows Kieran has a last turn, so he probably doesn't want MVS here. So no, he will Shaman for 3.
I think he's looking to get the energy attachment.
Right, just
or another basic.
He found a dimension.
Got the stadium. He's trying to decide here. He pretty much is going to pass, right?
Yeah, he's going to end up just passing and then.
And Kieran is just going to go ahead and Sycamore.
Right.
He got the Bronzong, 2 Bronzongs, so and an energy attachment to attach the active to start looking to retreat it.
I was going to say, the other thing, you could have almost made the argument for the Lysander there to just Lysander around chain and get the Floatstone on.
And then play all the rest of his
cards.
Exactly.
But what other... He didn't have anything else, but it was just
he
like...
He had a Floatstone.
He had the Floatstone, which I think is relatively viable. Just get on that Genocide and you're able to just, start doing things quicker. But he was able to hit the Bronzong up with Sycamore, so it's fine.
Right.
And now, so Zach, this is looking pretty much for a Psychic. I think you have to Sycamore here because you can't afford to whiff it. Like, Kieran actually has a real start in this game, so you can't afford to whiff here. Turn 2 Silent Fear like you did the last game. So he hits 1 Psychic. Got a Shaman. We have a way to get our guys. I think he's got Ultra Ball. He probably got Ultra Ball. At least we'll one the devals. Yep. He's gonna go get our Phantom.
He's gonna go ahead and get started for the next one.
Yeah, because he's not gonna be able to win this game with just 1 Trevenant like he was the last one.
He actually has to fight this for sure.
Yeah, he actually has to play a game of Pokemon this time.
Yeah, it was pretty quick to get his win last game, but he's also another situation is he did win that first game, and it was kind of a quicker game. So if Kieran does win this one, considering there's only 20 minutes, 6 minutes left, it's very unlikely that they're going to get through a game 3.
I would say it would be very... The thing is the good news is, at least if you're on Zach's side, is you win your games quick. Like, a lot of the games, when you go first,
you'll win it quick,
You win quick because you're just like...
You're able to just do what you need to do right away.
You only need 1 energy to function. And I don't even think... I'm pretty sure Kieran doesn't even play Tart. He doesn't play any counter thing. So, yeah, you just need to hit your 1 D value, and you are set
ready to
for the rest
go.
of the game.
Alright, so we go ahead and we see the Silent Fear spreading the damage.
Yep, and you're going to melt. So he is going to be able to do... He actually can KO this Trevenant break if you want. But he would have to discard all of his energy. I think I would because he's got that second Bronzong.
How is he able to retreat the active Genesect though?
Is it?
It's 2 retreat costs.
Oh, sorry. So he's not
going to be. He's not going to do it this turn.
Alright, so that's why I was saying like he'll float down.
Right, and that which would have made this turn better, but then he would have had the Bronzong. So it's a tough call. Like what do you choose to do? You never know. I mean, if he does have the Bronzong in his deck that prevents the bench damage, he could have gotten it, and then that could have changed
I think it was
his prize. Right, but I mean, like, Zach doesn't necessarily know that. Like, so it still is very interesting of why, what you choose. It was a hard decision, for sure.
So what we're looking at he basically needs to hit a metal next turn, or things will get very hairy very quickly. Because the thing with Genesect is, yes, you can one-shot, but you have to discard the energy. So you can choose to two-shot it, but then he's getting another extra free hit with the first Trevenant. And he's well on his way to getting
the second one.
Right,
it's not a problem for him.
He's all into that Trevenant. Trevenant.
Yep.
The next turn he'll have his breakout, and it's going to be tough. He needs to retreat this Genesect and get rid of that first Trevenant ASAP.
Yep. We go ahead and we see the Silent Fear.
Another Bronzong. And yeah, this game is looking at the metal lane.
He's gonna go ahead and get to attach energy more on his bench, but the Bronzongs are now
they're dead. He's got 1 Genesect to try to win this game with. And this is not gonna be easy. And Zach's got a solid hand. I mean, he's got red card, he's got BS Seeker, so he's got the options he wants. Might just be 1. He's gonna Sycamore. Not even gonna bother with the regular, he's just gonna Sycamore. Try to get that second breakout, and that might seal it. So he doesn't hit the break, but he does hit Crushing Hammers.
Which he got the tails, which he's in a really good position for him. So.
Yeah, because if he can crushing hammer the active, like that's another turn that he just gets to.
Right, then he gets to put more damage on the board.
Like.
Again, and another energy that Kieran's gonna have to find. Yeah,
so he's running low because he's got 5. He's got 6 on the table already, and he didn't. So he's got 6. So he's got 5 left. And okay. So he top decks one of his last 5 energies. So he's at least able.
He's gonna take.
So now he's gonna make this a game. But I think the issue is if he takes the knockout here, he has to find another energy. But if he finds the energy, like and Zilda KO these first 2 turn breaks, he pretty much wins.
But he also is trading 1 prize card for like 2, and like Zach's already taken a bunch, and there's a ton of damage on the field.
Right.
And Zach has the Ultra Ball, so he's getting the Trevenant Break.
Trevenant Break is going to come to the party, and he's going to take 2 more prizes on the Shaman. And then honestly, I think the best thing for Kieran to do would be to like one and then hit the Mal energy.
He has to.
Like that's pretty much what I think he needs to be doing because Zach he's gonna get. I'm assuming he's gonna go get this Trevenant Break.
Right.
But if he goes and gets a Trevenant Break and he's actually able to hit the 3rd energy to one shot it, that's a huge problem because then his board is 2 Shamans that don't do anything.
Zach's board would be rough at that point. So Kieran is definitely on the luck of his draw here.
Right. The good news back is he does play one Wobbuffet. He would be able to like hit one of already beat up Giant Sex for a good chunk of damage.
A good amount of damage, right? But you also have to look at. I mean, Kieran's deck. He went through a good amount of cards.
Oh,
it looks
that might be. I think that is very close to game.
That would
actually.
be because I think Kieran's out of energy. Like he's not. He's gonna have to draw 2. He's gonna be knocked out.
And this is like we're just assuming Zach like doesn't play Flare Grounds or any hits heads on hammers. Like this game is. Things have looked better.
Right.
And he draws another card that he can't play. Like at this point, it's like just playing out these last 2 turns. But yeah, I'd say it looks like Zach is gonna be able to.
Yeah, he's gonna take this. He's gonna look like he's gonna take a 2-0 for him.
Yeah, kind of pretty quick 2-0 as well. I mean, got a Sycamore. If anything, I think you'd Ultra Ball for a Wobbuffet here. Because that's a 1 energy attacker that you just put on field, and that's your win condition. Like
so the Wobbuffet does 10 for each counter, 10 plus 10 for each.
Exactly.
So is it put damage or is it just does damage?
It does damage. So
he's not going to be able to get the knockout, right?
No, not this turn. But it's one of those where like you're going to Silent Fear this turn.
Right.
Then,
so he's going to have it for next turn.
There's no way he can win that. Like the game. Yeah. He's just
going to go ahead and scoop. So Zach's going to take the second game here in the match.
He'll move to 3-0 on the tournament.
3-0, that's really great for him.
Yeah,
he's right on
a
his
great
run.
start with Trevenant, and we'll see how things keep going.
And Kieran definitely has play. I mean, Metal's a great play.
Metal's